This time we will make a very basic thing because it's for the beginner, just to get used to how we can work in C4D. I will make a project from the very scratch with simple objects, and then we will render it out in C4D. This tutorial will include basic working with basic primitive shapes, with spline, simple cloner, and also using simple dynamics, so that we can have some basic ideas over C4D, and after that we can dig into those tools and use it for our advancement. Okay, so I will start with a plane, so that will be our floor or base. And when I start with a project, I try to mess with one thing, and that is our figure. So I try to put it on my scene and have an idea the perspective or the size, the measurement. So I want to make it bigger, maybe like 5000 by 5000, 5000. And as the figure, it seems like it's facing this way, so I will try to work in that way. If you check C4D R26, the lot of things is like new, especially the user interface. So if you start with R26, so there's nothing changed because there's like totally new, everything is new. So it would be really nice to start with R26 and go ahead from here. In that case, like, you'll find all of the like primitive objects here. Here is like primitive shapes, spline shapes, and there's some tools like extrude, loft, and these are like advanced things. I don't want to talk with that, but we'll use some deformer. So these are like different types. You can come here, and if you click here, then you can make it fluid. So to make the floor bended, I want to use this bend effector, and when I click with alter, then it will make the selected object child, but I need it like child of my selected plane. So I will click shift and then click this one, then it will be child of my selected object. So I need something like that. But see, if as it's like plane, there is no y, so it's like 0. We need to increase it. Actually we needed something like this, and if I change, it is not happening in our direction we want. So we need to change it like this way, maybe $90, and we want this direction, so maybe 90 here too. Now we have right direction but not the right size, so we can do, we know this is 5000, so we can make it 5000, and maybe we can make it a little bigger, and we want to make it like 90, something like that. So one thing that if I press NB at a time, then we can see how many segment we have. We need more segment, especially in the height segment. So maybe 50 will be fine. I'm kind of happy with this, but I want it more into this position, so maybe something like that, and I want to place it like here, so that all the object we create, it will be in the center, something like that. And maybe we can make this 6000, so that we have more places to play with and don't need to think about it again. Okay, so now we can delete the figure because we don't need it anymore. We can make it a group by Alter and G. We can make it group and rename it by double clicking. It's like base, so we are giving it a name base, and then we will make our base. Actually, this, if we consider it as a floor, then we'll make our base. And if we go there, we can float it and go for a tube. This tube is something like that. We will make it like 800 and we'll make it 0 because we don't need any hole for this one, and height maybe 400, and segment, rotation segment, maybe 64. Yes. And if you check here, just when we click the middle mouse, we can go to the different view. So this is the top view, this is front view, this is right view. So we know our plane is in the very 0 0 of the coordination, and this is 400. So if we place it 200 positive, then we will mess with the 0 2. And if you select the tube, we can have some parameters here, just like position, this is rotation, this is scale, and in the object tab we have all these parameters. So we want to do one thing like fillet to make it to give it some maybe 10 or maybe 5. Yes, 5 is fine. I'm happy with 5. This is our base, and I want to make another. So height of this will be like 15, and I don't need any height segment for that, and for this one I need 3. So if I go there, and so it's like 50, it's 200. So if I place it like 425, that will be on the exact position on the top of that. So this is our base. So we have our base now, and I can save the scene. Control S. I want to save this .01. Okay, now this includes all our base. Maybe we want this separated. Maybe we can name it ground, and it's like this one, Alt G base. Okay, so now we will make our stairs. Okay, before that we can make some face with some spline. So now you know where we can get the primitive objects and work with that. Now if we come here, we can see some spline here, and these are like shapes, spline shapes. But if you want to make something from this scratch, something customized, you can use this spline pen tool. It works as like pen tool in Photoshop. So if you select one, and if you go there, I wanna make a face. So maybe something like that. And if you press ESC, it will be unselected, and again E for move tool, and again you can readjust those things according to your necessity. And always have the, so this way we can make a shape. And there is another tab, and if we float it, we will get some other tools. So one of these like lathe. So if you select the spline we have created and shift hold Alt and click the lathe, so we'll see that the spline will be a child of lathe, and it has created something like that we can get it here. So now we have changed to point mode, but if we click here, that's our object mode that we want, what we want. And if we bring it little top, then we can get a very nice page shape. We can work on that definitely, and we can make it uniform. And again we can go to the point mode and give it a little static shape. Okay, maybe something like that I'm happy with. Then now we have a very basic face shape. We can do one more thing. What is the, if we click again the spline tool, then we automatically can start from there. And again ESC and E for rotation tool, because we don't want something like that. We want something, if we click shift, then we can break it down. In that case we can soft interpolation, so that we can give it some of depth here too. Something like this. We don't need, actually we need, okay, I'm happy with this, at least for now. So this is our base one. Maybe we can scale it down. Sorry, I need to go to the object mode, maybe something like that. And okay, let's set up a camera. We can place it here, and if we click on the middle mouse, we can always can go to the for view, and from here we can make this different, because we want to set camera for this view. And if we go to perspective, then we can have another perspective view here, and if we press NC, then we'll get this shaded view. You can also get it from there. Now let's make the stairs first. So for that we are going to the primitive object like cube, and if we again go to the for view, NB will give you the shaded line. So we wanna make it something like this, maybe 100, maybe 25, maybe 250, something like this. Okay, I'm happy with this. If we go to the move graph, we can have some generators here and effectors, and that's a very interesting part of Cinema 4D. Right now we will use cloner. If you select the cube, move graph, and press Alt and click the cloner, then it will make the cube as a child of the cloner, and it will make something like that. But we don't need a grid, we need a linear, and we will use 11. And as this is like 25, so we will use the y25, and we want them to push into Z direction, so maybe 50. So now we can easily make any stairs, but we want something interesting. So we want some rotation, step rotation. If we press something like this, like if step rotation is -15, then we can get something like that. So this is our stairs, and I can give another group to this, and this is stairs. So we can make the stairs on the floor, because it should be on the floor, and we can make it perfectly from here. Maybe we don't need this now. Yeah, okay, something like that. And then we wanna make some site for this, and for that we will again use the, we don't need this, we can close them, spline pin. And to make that, we can easily create a shape like that, ESC and then E. Something like this will be fine, I guess, but we can always adjust that. And go to the object mode, then we can pull it forward, and if we again go to point mode, we need this part, upper side, something like that. And it is now adaptive, we will make it uniform. If we go to the object mode, then we want something like that. So now if we go to this tab here, there is one called extrude. We'll select the spline and alter, click the extrude button, it is extruded automatic. There are some properties and direction automatic, we can change it to absolute and not on the Z, it will be on the Y and minus direction. Now we have something like that, and I think it's kind of perfect and I'm happy with that. Wanna do the same thing for this part, so go to the pen tool, okay, yes, see, E for the move tool, and we can always spend some extra times to make it more detailed and smooth. For the tutorial sake, I will not go into that extra detail part. Again, go to the object mode and bring it forward, then go to the spline mode and something like that. And I want to do one more thing, maybe later. Just go to the object mode and push it little further to make it close to like that. So we can press Ctrl and drag it, so in this way we can make a copy of that and delete this spline and just put it here. In this way we can get another here. As always, we need some little adjustment, and we can always do it by using our spline. Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of happy with that, and we will use again uniform, maybe 30. Okay, it's nice. Maybe more to have some more details, maybe 50 for this one and 40 for this one. Okay, now we don't have any depth of this one, so for getting some depth, we'll use cloth. So if you select this and alter and then click this one, it will make it as a child, and if it's this way we can give some depth, like maybe 5, and for this one also maybe 5. Yeah, very good. So we are good with our stair. We can put it into our stairs. Now we will create our lift. Okay, for that we need a primitive object called cube again. We'll bring it here. We'll, by clicking R, we can rotate it. We'll match this with this one and going to object, maybe 280, and also Z 280. I think that's fine. For now, and we can give it some fillet, maybe 10, and horizontal. Oh, cube, this is here, and we can give some height. So maybe we can give it another name, maybe lift. And lift and stairs, we can give it another group. It's called stairs and lift. Always like to rename those so that it is easy for us to to recognize which is which object. This way it is not messy. So now maybe we can adjust our camera a little bit for now. If we go to here, render setting, we'll find something like that. We want something like 1350 by 1350. We want something like that. So maybe we can also take a camera, create camera. So if we change our render setting to redshift, then we will get redshift camera, maybe a standard one and something like that. So I think we need to rotate a little bit, maybe on that, and if we click here we can change the orientation mode. Yes, it's good. Yes, it is good. Maybe we don't need this, so maybe 600 by 595 or 590 is enough for us. We can give more height to this, maybe 1200. Okay, something like that, and we can place our, maybe we can have our face here, and we can always do that from the top view so that we are sure we are placing on this point, and we maybe need to make it a little smaller, maybe something like that. Okay, we can always adjust our, yeah, it's good. I'm happy with that. So let's make our lift. So it will be a little long tutorial, but hopefully you can have some idea how to work in C4D and build a project. Maybe you will give another group. It's called, I don't know, faces and plants. Okay, then I always do one more thing. For this lift, I will make another copy and put it into another group as backups. As always, you may need it because I will make it editable. So right now we can't edit this cube. We only just work on these parameters. But if we wanna edit this, then we need to make it editable by clicking C. So if you click C, then automatically it changes. So now we can go to different mode: edge mode, point mode, polygon mode, and there's like object mode. So if we go to the polygon mode, then we can select this polygon, and if you want, we can delete this, and we can delete this too. So this way we can make a lift. So yeah, and even if we need, we can go to the point mode, and we have more selection tool like rectangle. We can select this, so it is always safe to select from here, and if you need to extend it, you can do that. And even from here, if you need to extend it, you can do it here. So to make a lift, we will use another tool called boolean, and actually we need to give a support here. Maybe we can bring back our previous cube and make it very thin and make the radius 1 and place it there, so it is better to put it from this part, and maybe it's 2 is fine, I think. Maybe a little less than 280. So that we don't need to see them. Okay, very good. Now we'll need to make a hole from here, and for that we will maybe we can close the view of the camera. We don't need it. So to make the lift, we will use this cube again, and we need this base, and we need to keep this here. So this is our first one. Select this one, go there and float it again, and we use this boolean pull. So if we use this tube and select alter, it will automatically make it as child, and we will bring this, bring the cube, and then we can see that it has make a hole according to the size of the cube. So this is called boolean, and we need to do the same thing for the another tube like this base. So if we select the tube and alter and click bool, and again we need to hold alter and make a copy of this cube again to make a boolean with this base. So now we have a hole here. So this way we can make boolean. That's like, yeah, it's I mean all the tools are very important, but mostly use some tools are these. I mean boolean is one of the used tools, frequently used tools. So this way we can give it basic shapes, and now we can give some depth to this lift structure also by adding some thickness, maybe 2 or 5. We don't need this, or maybe 5. Yes, that's good, that's better. Now let's make the lift again. So we need this cube again. This cube maybe very thin, maybe 5. Yes, 5 is good. We can, yeah, it's good, it's good to me. Yeah, yes, and this is our lift that will be animated. So it will, I will put it in another group and give it an anim, so that we know that we are animating this part. and after that we will actually make a cloner of this one. In this way we can easily, okay, so if we select this cube 2 and again go to the more graph, and by clicking alter, click clone, it will make the cube 2 as child, and we don't need grid. We will go to linear, and then we need to do one thing. We need to match the length something like this, so that it matches with the yes, something like this. Very good. And we need more, maybe 6, and in this way we can animate it. If we go here, now we have the lift. I want to do one more thing, maybe make it a little smaller, maybe 278. This way it is better, and we can adjust our camera now. If we click Ctrl T, we will have attribute setting, and if we go to mode, then we will find view setting, and in this style shape frame we can make the opacity 100, so we know that this is our frame, to our camera. I usually like to work this way, but for this one it can be open because this is my work area, but this is the camera view, so always know so what we are seeing through our camera, so something like that. And maybe we can give 277. Yeah, we're fine. Okay, now we can add some more basic shapes, basic elements, to give some more interest to our scene. Yeah, okay, let's do it. Let's make another vase, very simple way. If we go there, so these are our spline primitives. So this is spline primitive shapes, but we can work with this in a very interesting way. Like suppose if we click helix, and this way we can make some very interesting shape with this. And if we bring it forward and extrude again, go to extrude, alter, and again we need to make it absolute and not Z but Y, and I want to make the subdivision maybe 10 so that we can see what is going on. So we have a shape like this, but we can make it more interesting. See, not maybe that much, and if we make it more and give it a rotation like 180, and bring it forward, maybe not that forward, and if we place it a place like this way we can give it a very interesting shape. Maybe a little smaller. You can always adjust from here. And maybe give a rotation like this. I always like to work in different combination with different view, so that you know what you're doing and how does it look. So this I can give another group, or you can put it to face group. And so if you're happy with this, maybe we can, okay, let me do one more thing, give it some, yeah, so that we can put our plant inside. And if we float this again, you will find another instance. So if we select this one and click instance, so we can easily make another instance with this one, and we can get a copy of, sorry, yeah, so I think now it's good, and we can place it somewhere like this. Yes, maybe this time. And always save your project. Okay, another thing, you can't actually scale it in this way. You have to do it from the coordination, maybe 1.5, 1.5, 1.5. so that's something you have to know, but it is always good to know. And again, maybe copy by selecting and pressing Ctrl and just drag. And I want this one, but in different place, maybe somewhere like this. And if I want, I can place C, and I will get the extrude, and I can work on my extrude. Maybe I want more from this one, and I can always add more depth. So maybe something like that. Maybe we can give some little rotation. Yes, something like that. And now we can add some plant. And to adding some plant, we can always go the asset browser. If you click asset browser, click plant, then you will find lots of plant. And I actually want to use I want to use this one, corn plant. Okay, and if you double click, you will get it in your scene. These are free, so you can easily use them. Maybe you want to make it a little bigger. Sorry, bigger, maybe not that big, but I think we are good. And maybe we can make a little rotation. Okay, maybe something like that. If if you want, you can use other plant. And for this one, I'm good with this. Or maybe I can add another plant. Or, maybe something like this. Okay. You can always go to the top view. Oh, it is just an image, so I don't want to use this one actually, because it's just the image. Maybe I will use this one in different places. Because I really don't wanna mess up with that. And if you use instances, in that case, if you just material this one, so it will be replicated with another, so I will go for that. I really like the instance, but it don't allow you to edit this way. You have to always go to the coordination 0.6, 0.6, 0.6, and you can always give some rotation to add some variation, something like that, or maybe 0.5. And make another maybe here, but always check from the top you're on the right place or not. And yes, give it another rotation, maybe a little bit different. Yeah, make another copy by pressing Ctrl and put it here, bring it up, give some little rotation, maybe a little larger, 0.6, 0.6, 0.6. Okay, I'm done with this part. We don't need anything from Object Asset Browser. Now I want to give some extrude to our this, make another group, and if we go deformer, you will find bevel deformer, and if we put the bevel deformer to this group, these are automatically beveled, and you can control this bevel from here. Subdivision maybe 3, and if you don't want so much, maybe 0.5. Yes, that's fine. Okay, now make our lift and work on that. So we want a spare object to play with our animation. Just place it somewhere like that. We need to make it a little smaller, maybe 70, and give some more segments, maybe 32. And let's place it somewhere in this corner, and make sure it is on the top. this. We can give maybe octahedron so that it looks equal. Okay, and now we'll go to dynamic part and give some life to our scene. That's really interesting because now we'll animate. Okay, so this is our sphere, so this is our ball. Maybe we can rename it ball, and this will be our dynamic object. So if we right click and go to bullet object, it will be a rigid body. So this is rigid body tag, and if we go there, we will get all the parameters for our dynamic. For bounce, okay, 5 is fine, friction 95 is fine, that's fine. So this is our active object, and rest of the object, it will help us to make this in dynamic, but they will not object. So they will be our collider objects. So for example, our collider object will be this cube, all the stairs, bullet, collider body, and bounce, we don't need any bounce from that. Friction is okay, or maybe less friction too, or maybe even 0. And we want this same, so we just copy paste to them. And even this all will be our collider objects. So just put it there, and even this will also be our collider object. So this collider, everything is collider, and maybe this one too, because it can touch. So now if we go there, you see our timeline is 90 frame. We will make it a little bigger, maybe 400, and if you now play, we'll see nothing, because the ball is on the floor, and it don't have any force to move. So to add some force, I wanna add some wind in our scene. And if we go to simulation, force, we'll find wind, and to check the wind, if we bring it forward, you will see this is the arrow. There is an arrow, so this is the arrow. So if we play it, you'll see this is happening. Okay, we want to make our lift part dynamic also. Okay, so we want our ball to move this direction, so we want to put our wind maybe here. We don't want this direction, maybe this direction, maybe something like that. So if we put our ball not here, maybe here, and if we play it now, it don't have any bounce. We wanna give some bounce to it, maybe 20%, and we want to add some turbulence to our wind, maybe 10, and maybe give some more speed to our wind. There is no friction. One problem is happening, there is no friction in our maybe 50%, maybe 50%. Yes, we need a friction, then, or maybe it will go this way. Now we have some but we want our wall to go to the left, so we can do some tricks here. We can duplicate our wind and place it here and keep the direction to our left, so that when it comes here, it push our ball to other direction. But it will not happen now, because it will create another problem for now. Oh, actually it didn't. Maybe we can make it 5. But it doesn't work. Maybe 10, but we can do one thing. We see when the wall is coming close to the end of this stairs, it becomes slow because of this wind. So maybe we can do one more thing. We can animate the speed hours on our second wind. So maybe when the ball is somewhere like that, the wind will start the speed, and before that it will something be like 0, or maybe little later it can be something like that. Or maybe a little earlier. Maybe a little more earlier. Or maybe the speed can be. Also do it from here, maybe 50 frame.
Papa, there's a party.
So we need to maybe we need to give little more speed. If we select this keyframe, we can increase the value, maybe 15, and let's see. No, it doesn't look natural. It doesn't look natural. It should look natural anyway. So maybe we can friction 100, bounce maybe 0. Maybe it is too much. Maybe it can be 10 again. Yeah, that's why you need to play with the parameters, because maybe a placement also. Yes, it also needs some friction. That's the problem is happening, because we don't have any friction on our object. So it's also needs some friction, like 50. Now it's better. Everything needs some friction actually. Okay, now I think it looks more natural. We check again. Awesome. So from there, here from 75, we want to animate this in. So in that case, our ball need to be here, so that okay, I think it's better to put our ball here, and let's check. Okay, so however, to make the loop we have to be a little tricky. So when our ball go there, maybe we can animate our lift, and it will go somewhere like this. We don't need this, we only need this. So if we play again, let's see what happens. Go inside. Okay, maybe 450. We're getting there. Okay, there's a little jump when you get into the position, we need to do some adjustment in our animation. That's like another part I want to show, how you can control your animation. So if we go to Windows and timeline drop sheet, so here you can see all the animation we have. We did the animation of this, and here are the keyframe. So if we go to the curve mode and please press H, we'll get it in focus, and we want this like smoother, we want this more faster in the beginning, and we don't want a jerk at the end. That's why like it's making a jump. So if you check again, go coming, going inside, still it has a jump. So maybe we need to do one more thing. We need to make it little slower. So maybe from 320 to 680. It will be very smooth. In this way we can make our animation smooth and control the ramp up of the speed. So this is making, at the beginning it will be little speedy, and at the end it will be like slower. So it will be like, but it's not working. So maybe it's too speed at the beginning. Yes, I think that works, but we can give it more time, maybe 70, so it is more slower. Second time, and yeah, you can always play with this and make it more realistic. And that's the part of learning. And this way you can, if you press Y, so it is like very, maybe 380. Now it's better. I love it. So all we do, we'll render it out and make the loop in After Effects, and that will be very easy. Right now, I think with the, we don't need timeline. So if we play once again and check, that's good, really nice. So we can jump into lighting and material. Let's do it. For that I will change my template, because we will use Redshift. So RS Instra, I have a template, and I will go to this one, and yeah, these are some basic materials, but we don't need it. If we check our render setting, it is already render shaped, and the advance of Redshift. So we'll stick with basic things, maybe brute force for all, and sampling maybe 0.5 because I want faster render, and that's all for now. We click render, then we'll find something like this, but yeah, we'll go from there. Okay, so first we'll go for a dome light. Create light, dome light. So dome light is like for the HDRI, and go to object, then texture. We can use HDRI texture for our dome light. So I have some HDRI, so I'll go to HDRI and I will use this photo studio HDRI now, and I can always change the rotation from there. At first I wanna make it a little intense, maybe 2. Okay, and from there actually I want something like this. Yeah, it seems good to me. So okay, for now I will stick with this, and maybe another thing, light. So where can we create the light? Go to create light. There are different types of light, but I will go with the area light. And if we create an area light, we'll find something like that. And you can always position your object, maybe it's light or maybe a primate object from the top view, so that you know where it is. I want something like that, and not that high, maybe something like that. And because I want this part to be a little intense, and if you go to the light object, the primary intensity 100, but I want it's around like 20. So for now I'm okay with this. Okay, let's bring some color. Okay, I wanna do one more thing. Maybe something like that, or maybe one more thing, just 255 260. Yes, no, 255 is fine. Yeah, okay. Now I wanna add some material towards it. So create a material, to create redshift material. I will go with standard material. So this is standard material. It is I will give some name like base 01. These are the materials. It came with our, I don't know with what, or with our plants. So we'll check it later. Just create some base material. So this is our base, and for the color I wanna show you another thing. Like if you go Adobe Color, you will get a lot of color. If you go Explorer, so you can get like different color theme, and I like to start somewhere like there. If there is no like branding color, so for you don't have any brand color, so maybe we can start somewhere like this, and then you can explore different combination. I have something in my library. Maybe I will stick with that. Maybe I will stick with this color, and I will just take from there. So yeah, that's a cool feature, Adobe Color, and you can always use color template from there, because they're very nice. So for the base color, I will use the template, and one of the nice feature in C4D, I like it very much. If you click the color picker, you can always pick any color from your screen. So I have another monitor, I will pick from there. So for the base, yeah, I will make this and I will apply it to my base. Yeah, and yeah, it already looks good. So I will add some texture. This something like annoying sometimes for me. It should be here. I think it's better in this way, but okay, whatever it is, go to texture. I will bring a texture node, and for roughness I will go to path and select a texture. I will select construction paper, so I wanna give it like and I need another texture, and this time it will be our normal. No, so first I will connect it with our reflection roughness, and it will make it totally rough. So I want to control that. So for that I need a ramp, and if I drag it here, it will automatically connect, and from here we can control the reflection distance. So if it's like black, it's like 100% reflective. So I want somewhere like that, and for this part, yeah, it's somewhere like that. So we have our reflection and roughness at the same time. So maybe a little more reflection. Yes, I'm kind of happy. And for the bump, we need bump input, bump map. You have to connect your bump texture as input, and then connect your input with bump map. So in this way you can have some bump, but for this I want 0.2. We don't want so intense. So this is basically the material, and from there we'll just only change color. So base 2, maybe, sorry, it will be base 2, and if you want to change color, you can do it from here, and I will add it here and to my background also. Maybe we need more. Is this maybe 100? Because it seems like a little. Yes. This is our base. Maybe this is our ball. I will give the ball a vivid yellow color. Or not the vivid one. Maybe this interesting one. To our ball, we can add it to our ball. Just drag it and place it to our ball, or you can also apply it from here. Just drag like this way. Yeah, and I will add some more color, some yellow variation. This may be our stairs. And for the stairs I will stick with like this maybe. So and stairs, but I want to give this a different color, maybe a white color. Let's just make it white, maybe not 100%. And if you select it, then you can just put it here. Maybe I can do one more thing. I can change the color a little bit. But this is not what we want. This we want something like that, and maybe the ball can be this, or maybe not this yellow, maybe this yellow, because yeah, that's better. And yep, and definitely we can replace the color of the vases and plants. So for that, maybe for the plants I will go with this color, brilliant. Yes, plants, and we will apply it to the plants. How is our plants? Plants, corn plants. The best corn plants. Yeah, this. So maybe this, if we just replace it here, so this will be fine. Or maybe we can do one more thing, we just replace it here, so it will replace everything. We don't need this. And we need some material for our vases, so maybe vase. This one, something like this. Definitely we can play more with this and adds more interest, but that's the basic scene. This way you can start your C4D journey and go from there. Let's check this. Go to the render setting, save. Here we can change to Redshift, then we can save. We want PNG. If you need alpha channel, we can check it, but for our scene we don't need alpha channel, we don't need any multipass, so we need 16-bit. And from here we can save it. Where do you want to save? So maybe I will give it a name, RND, and loop 0 1 output all frames, frame rate, as our project setting frame rate is 30, so it's 30, and ratio is square 1350. So everything is done. Just if we click this, it will render our scene. So I will show you how we can make it loop in After Effects after the render. So we go to our rendered. Let's import them into the After Effects. So in total it is 450 frames. We'll import them as PNG sequence. Just if you select one file and just check the PNG sequence, import it, and we can make a composition based on the resolution before this. So it is like 1350 by 1350. And now if we check that it's not a loop, but we can make it a loop. Maybe if we start something from here and find the sweet spots, something like this. So we play. Yeah, in this way we can make this loop. Maybe it is not totally perfect, but you know the process, you know the way of working this way, and you can render it out like Control Shift, or if you go to composition, add to render queue, then you can choose your render setting and show the path, and just then you can render. So basically that's all. Thank you for watching, see you on the next time. If you like it, please give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel.